this next one, very few people realize. The right idea activated with the wrong spirit will bring destructive results. Now, theoretically, people may realize, oh yeah, that makes sense. But in practice, very few people realize it. And notice, it's the same amount destructive as the wrong idea and the wrong spirit. So one way that we see this often is a person effectively is saying, I know I have the right idea, therefore I'm right. But no, because the spirit that activates the idea is all important. To be creative, it must be the right idea and the right spirit. If we express our ideas of how things should be done or even what happened with blame and stubbornness and arrogance, we actually defeat ourselves, and it will bring destructive results. A more subtle mistake, we start expressing our ideas with the right spirit, but then somebody does something and we react. So maybe our voice gets louder and we become critical or complain. Another way of reacting is we withdraw and kind of pout. Okay, so lastly, this one is quite interesting. The wrong idea plus the right spirit can, in time, be corrected and bring victory. So we need to see the importance of it. Even if it's not completely a right idea, if we activate it with the right spirit, we will discover the false aspects of the idea. And we can make adjustments so that it becomes the right idea. Realizing this would save a lot of arguments. Of course, it's better if we have the right idea. But if we block the forward movement of things because we see something wrong about the idea, that actually prevents us from discovering the right idea, the right design. Often, when we start designing things, the design we begin with is not the final design. It evolves and changes over time, like a human embryo. So, another part about this is to realize many times our idea is not completely true because it's based in our partial view. Many times, if we knew just one more thing, our idea would change. So it's good to be humble about our ideas, to be open to a larger perspective, because wisdom requires understanding the whole situation. And if we're so attached to our view that we don't listen to other people, we won't be wise. A few months ago, I spoke about if a group is considering something, it's good to bring your viewpoint clearly, passionately, but then let it go. Let it go. Offer it into the consideration so that the larger wisdom can emerge through that. Many of our ideas are based in past experience when our understanding of truth was quite limited. And we each have our own unique background that formed our ideas. So when people of different backgrounds work together, often ideas will clash. The higher truth can emerge through that. If, big if, we give more weight to the spirit we're expressing than our idea. If everyone is holding adamantly to their own idea, the higher truth has no way to emerge. Okay, so this now, I think, gives us a base to look at some more implication. Last week, Eugen spoke about climate change. As people tackle the issues of climate change, they will face these same challenges. Their unique backgrounds and priorities very likely will cause their ideas to clash. So, we've seen this already and heard about it on the news. It's hard for people to even agree on the creative steps that could be taken, let alone to act on them. Again, different priorities, different backgrounds. The way through that can emerge if the spirit people express is right versus being adamantly stuck to one's views. Who really understands that? If we work together in right spirit, finding a creative way through differing ideas, it paves the way for others to understand. Some of you will remember the importance of vibrational work we can do in such things. In other words, if we begin a practice of finding a creative way through our differing ideas, if we do this, we are paving the way for others to do it also. We call that representational ministry, service. So this is actually one key part of the transformation of the habitual self. The habitual self that emerges from the traumatized human ego. We all have this, and it actually shows up in our interaction with each other. So, particularly when we're working through differing ideas, we can really make a forward step in paving the way for other people by transforming the habits of the habitual self to give more weight to the idea than the spirit. All right, so another implication, when we focus on expressing the right spirit more than our ideas, that actually opens a channel for heaven to bring new inspiration. Just focusing on our ideas blocks that channel. Also, when we focus just on our ideas, we are controlled by our minds. When we focus on the quality of spirit we're expressing, we are controlled by spirit. This is the primary transformation that mankind must make if it is to survive. Control by spirit, not the mind. Because when we are expressing the right spirit, we can access heaven's wisdom. Do you think we have a chance of solving global warming without accessing heaven's wisdom? And who really knows how to access heaven's wisdom? Well, that's what we are dedicating our work through AOL School. I suggest we are meant to show mankind how to do this. Not just those in AOL School, but anybody who awakens. How to be controlled by spirit, right spirit, and let heaven's inspiration come through. Okay, good. The spirit in which anything is done will determine its success or failure. But notice, often, not always, but often, to promote political or social movements, the lowest spirits are stirred. Resentment, blame, fear. We can act to solve problems, not because of fear, but because we want to do the right thing. Because if fear activates an idea, the current in it is destructive, right? And that will multiply problems and eventually produce failure. Instead, we can meet the problems in our lives and that confront humanity with the right spirit. If we're activated by the right spirit, we will succeed. If we're activated by the wrong spirit, we will fail. And unless consciousness changes to align with the natural and true design for this planet, nothing that is done to handle climate change will actually succeed. So the right idea is important, and the courage to stand for the ideas we believe in is an honorable quality of character. But it takes even higher character to express our views with a right spirit. Our character builds as we develop the spiritual muscle to choose right spirit consistently. So hopefully through this consideration today, beyond just AOL school, wherever you are, it makes more obvious our personal responsibility to let the right idea be activated by the right spirit consistently. Understanding and consistently doing this is part of the change in consciousness this world needs. In summary, the right idea activated by the right spirit leads most certainly to victory, and it allows heaven's wisdom to come through. Okay, good. 정말 감사합니다, 여러분들. Thank you so much.